Hello and welcome to Vibra Finance. Tonight is episode number 6 of Hex Updates. Serena Alonzi and I, my lovely co-hostess, have been going over Hex basics step by step through episodes 1 through 5. So please check out our channels. Serena Alonzi and Vibra Finance start with more detailed explanation of what we'll be covering tonight. The topic is Hex basics, starting with what is Hex, and we're going to walk you all the way through laddering and staking. So if you're new here to the ecosystem, welcome to Hex. And if you're new to Vibra Finance, welcome to Vibra Finance. I'm going to play a little bit of a video to show you what we're all about. See you soon.
At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance. We are the future of crypto.
Okay, welcome back. Here we have a picture of the cryptocurrency market in total, and it looks like a bloodbath. But what does that say to you when you see numbers like that and all that red, Serena?
I don't panic or worry because I know it's a bear market, so it doesn't really affect me. But yeah, it's totally normal for everything to be down right now.
No, that's right. We are in a bear market. For historical purposes, today is December 17th, and the time is 2:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So as we'll be going through these documents and documenting history, I thought it'd be appropriate to keep a timetable here. So let's take another look at what's going on with users in the cryptocurrency market. We have people that have been here for a while that are excited for this ride, and then we have newbies that are really not sure what is going on. And that is exactly why you and I are here tonight to walk someone step by step through what is starting with what is Hex, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Serena, can you give us your most basic intro of your opinion of what Hex means to you, starting with like the actual terms of what Hex is, and then elaborate with what Hex means to you, please.
Okay, so what Hex is in actual terms, it's a bank. It's like a bank CD, except it's on the blockchain. So you have full control over your funds. You don't need any permission like you do if you had a bank CD, and it pays you rewards for staking away your Hex tokens. And what it means to me is it's just something that it gives me something to look forward to in the future. And to me, it's a way to be financially free, and I don't have to worry. So yeah, to me, Hex is just a tool to give me that financial freedom.
Right. But you're not expecting anything, right? Like you're not expecting this tool to produce financial freedom. You're just using it as a tool.
Exactly. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that that was clear, because as we're going through all these episodes and you and I are discussing a product that we're interested in, that is just what it is. We are going to present facts to you that we find along the way, and we're going to supplement them with evidence. And the rest of it is just our opinion. This is just for entertainment. And perhaps if you learn some education along the way for your health, wealth, and self, you are bringing a total holistic approach to your financial portfolio. But for tonight's purposes, and going forward in the future, all of these episodes are really just our opinion, and opinions are what they are, right?
Exactly.
So how does Hex work, period? Like, how does Hex work?
So once you have Hex, you have the option to stake it, which means to lock it away for as short or as long as you want. Longer will give you more Hex tokens in return. And it just pays you Hex daily if you're staked.
Right. That's important. Yeah. Thank you for bringing it up too, that it's important to remember as we're going through this, and you're saying that you're earning rewards and you are earning them in terms of Hex tokens, right?
Exactly. Yes. Not in dollar value or any monetary value, just in Hex tokens. That's what's increasing when you have Hex staked. That's what you're earning. Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure that that was clear. So thank you for walking us through how that works. You're purchasing a liquid token, and then you can put it to work for you with different options. So the history of Hex, where did we start? Where is this coming from? How long has it been alive? And where are we going from here? That's what we're going to be covering tonight. So history of Hex. We started with a founder, 2019. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. So Hex has been established. Today is 2022 for approximately 3 years. We just celebrated a third birthday for the community. And that is something important to highlight too, that you have a community of individuals that are interested in the same product that come together to celebrate its creation, and not just the creation of the product itself. You're celebrating those around you that are like-minded individuals. So I think that's pretty historically noting for that to continue over 3 years through we're sliding through a bull market into a bear. Now we're in a nasty bear market. Things are changing. So much clarity is coming down the pipeline. So many true scams are out there, and having that sense of community around you and being able to celebrate that history with 1,111 days of flawless uptick time. That gives, for me, when I'm looking into a product, I like to see that kind of history. But some of the concerns that you would see for Hex, there's a lot of FUD, so to speak, that goes on, not only around the token itself, but in question of, the contract and the validity of the contract. But there's questions about the community. There's FUD about the community. Where do we even start with addressing these concerns? We start with head on, right? Where are we going head on with this? The concerns of Hex are, what's the long term? What does it look like long term? Well, hold on. Let me grab my crystal ball. And all we're doing is sitting here speculating.
Exactly.
Yep. So as we're speculating these concerns about Hex with a long term or its longevity and its product market fit in the market, we look at the need for new instruments in the financial system to allot our interest into. And so this gives us the ability to create almost like a savings account on the blockchain, right? So that could be a debunk to a concern, like what's the longevity of this project? There's 15-year stakers, and there's many 15-year stakers, and there's evidence of that 15-year staker pool, and you can look onto all of these because of the transparency that the blockchain offers us. That's really exciting.
Yep. And I believe I think it was the last episode or the one before that, we talked about the average stake length has always been increasing. So if anyone has concerns, there's, like you said, 15 years people are staked out for, and then that average overall global stake length has just been going up. So
yeah, thank you for pointing it out. So as of today, the average stake length is over 5 years, which, as we had covered before at a previous episode, and we'll get down to in a minute here with your stake length. So we'll get back to that. But right now, your average as of yesterday, the average stake length was 6.75 years. So that gives you confidence coming into a product, knowing that for 5 years, you're amongst like-minded individuals, if that makes sense.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so we're going forward. We're talking about goals of HEX, moving forward and speculating into our future. We already covered some concerns. And now let's talk about goals. Where do we see ourselves going as two people that are interested in this product in the future?
Yeah, so for the goals of HEX, it's supposed to replace Bitcoin and the bank CDs, the products at the bank that they offer you. And it replaces the centralized authority with a trustless system. So, and also for me, like a goal of HEX is just to set people financially free so they don't have to work for the rest of their lives.
Right. So that they can reward themselves with HEX tokens and then make decisions from there as to what they would like to do with their staked HEX versus liquid HEX, what their rewards are for staking and completing the contract that they promised themselves and the smart contract. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so one of the episodes that we talked about when we talked about staking HEX was the difference between, and I just mentioned that, liquid versus staked HEX. Can you give us a brief example or look at that?
Yeah, of course. So liquid HEX is like if I were to just buy HEX right now, and I have that liquid, I'm holding that right now. I could sell it immediately. I could trade it. I could do whatever I want with it. But versus staked HEX is HEX that you've locked away in the smart contract. And for example, let's say you want to lock away for 5 years as a minimum. Not that it's minimum, but just a good starting point.
How much do you walk away? Let's give them an example.
Okay. So HEX stake, let's do 5,555 HEX.
Okay. I like that number.
Yeah.
And we're choosing that. Okay. And the maximum number of days?
Maximum number. Do you want to do the 5,555, like 15 years, or?
Yeah, let's show them what the benefits of a longer pays better.
Okay. So I guess everything 555.
Right.
Yeah, 5555.
Okay, so that roughly that equates to a little over 15 years, and we're going to show you what it would look like to stake 5,555 HEX at the US dollar price of 0.25. Now, sorry, that is a little small for you guys. Let's come on over. So as you can see, it gives you an idea of what your start date would look like. Here we have our start date. It would be day 1112, and your maturity date would be March 3rd, 2038. So day 6,667 of flawless uptick time. Your stake amount would be 5,055 HEX. Your current US dollar value of that initial principal would be $138.88. You guys can see that, right? Okay, so here we see how it lays out your longer pays better bonus, which is in HEX terms. So we are talking about 11,110 HEX. Your bigger pays better bonus would be 0.021 HEX, making your total 11,110.021 HEX. And that is your HEX bonuses. So your HEX T-shares coming down here in terms of US dollar value, your total payout for your initial investment of 138.88 cents would equate to $881.46. Now, there's many factors that come into that. There's the current price value of HEX today, and then there's the current or predicted price value that could or could not happen. So when we're looking at talking about our interest in HEX, we're really not paying attention to the US dollar value, right? We're more interested in this number here. We want to see our payout and our returns in terms of HEX.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if you look at that, the ROI, that's like an amazing percentage for just staking for 15 years and setting your stake and forgetting about it.
So your average APY, if you staked 5,500 HEX for 5,500 days, tomorrow your API would be locked in at 35.13%, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're able to lock that in and there's no fluctuation or variation because it's a smart contract, right? And that contract does all of the calculations when you are ready to unstake your HEX after you fulfilled your promises. But what happens if, because life happens, or sometimes people don't understand really what they're getting into when they're staking HEX. That's why we're doing these videos to show you, what happens when you what we call emergency unstaking. What happens?
Sorry, before we get into emergency end staking, I just wanted to add that for the APY, the 35%, that is, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is based off of the current amount of stakers. So that could change depending on
Good point.
the amount of people staked and for the length that they're staked. But so that number could go up, could go down. But even if it did go down, for example, there's still a minimum. You will always, at bare minimum, get 3.69% regardless. So just
Thank you for
keep that in
clarifying.
mind. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's important to know too. But yeah, so what is emergency end staking and the consequences? So emergency end staking is, for example, if you have a 15-year stake and you locked it away in the smart contract, but then after, let's say 2 years, you're just like, oh yeah, I want to unstake now, and collect my rewards. Well, if you go to unstake because you promised 15 years and you're breaking that promise and only going to stay staked for 2 years because now you want to take it out, well, there's penalties for that. So you will lose a lot of the interest that you should have gotten. So when you go to end stake, there's like a warning that will pop up and tell you, are you sure you want to do this? And if you don't understand how HEX works, you could emergency end stake and then realize that, oh no, my HEX is gone. I practically have nothing because you eat away at not only the interest, but the principal as well. So it is, emergency end staking is, the penalty you get for not sticking to your word and sticking to your promise that you made on the smart contract that can't be changed. And if you try to change it, then you have to pay the price for that. So
right, because there's no middlemen. There's nobody in there to interfere and be like, well, listen, I understand you have some life changes and things happen. It's black. It's very black and white.
Exactly. And that side note is very important. Why in our previous episode, we mentioned staking and having a laddered stake. That is a good reason to have that, because if you have stakes coming out every year and you have that staking ladder, then there should be no need to have to emergency end stake because you have something always coming out, right? So that is a way to protect yourself. So that's it for consequences. And I'm pretty sure I covered it.
There's consequences with ending your stake, which, as you mentioned, are losing your principal balance. You're losing out on potential interest or rewards that you would be receiving if that contract was completed. So those are consequences of emergency unstaking. Another consequence of your emergency unstaking is if you were able to procure a T-share at the current rate, which is, let's see, we didn't even start with that this week. That's our norm. The current T-share rate today is 25,307 HEX per T-share. Now, we started 2 weeks ago, and I believe when we started, the current T-share rate was 25,211 and 4. So as you can see, each day that T-share rate increases, and eventually there will be no more T-shares left. So that is why where your bigger pays better bonus comes from, your staking your hex. You're taking your liquid hex and you're entering it into a smart contract, which then gives you rewards. So that is why you would want to stake your hex versus keeping it liquid. Keeping it liquid makes it easy to trade it, but the utility and the point of holding hex is to gain yourself a reward, pay yourself out in the future for maintaining that promise to yourself. So that's why you would stake your hex. You would stake your hex because the smart contract does the work for you, and you're not using external equipment to mine rewards from other tokens or coins, where those rewards are not guaranteed to you, and will have or cut in half in the future. So there will be less and less of those over time too, where your T-share rate increases over with time, and there's security around you with 15-year club, so to speak. So Serena, what, like, the shares of hex with T-shares, we went through those with T-shares being trillions, and I mentioned really quickly about how they're scarce. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the T-share?
Sure. So they're scarce because, as you mentioned earlier, like the price only increases daily. So now is always going to be a better time to lock in a T-share versus tomorrow. So that is another reason why it's good to start with longer stakes versus shorter ones, because you can't lock in that T-share price in the future. It's not going to be at this price again. So every day that you don't stake, you're missing out on locking away that price, that T-share that earns you. The T-share is what earns you more hex. So yeah, you want to lock that away as soon as possible to get the maximum amount of hex rewards.
That's right. And that's not a call for FOMO. We're not saying, no, you'll never get it. It will be around for many years. However, it will take more economic input, so to speak, to acquire those shares for the prices they're available at. So that's not a Black Friday, like, beat down the doors. It's just, this is something that we're observing and we are sharing that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just how the hex contract works. So it can't be changed. And yeah.
That's right. So that's why we come up with some strategies for working around this, not working around, working with the hex contract. How do you make a contract work for you?
Mm-hmm. Well, for me personally, that's why I started out with longer stakes, because I always wanted to maximize my hex rewards and lock in as many T-shares as I could from early on. So that's why I like to do the staking ladders. This way you always have something coming out every year. If you start backwards and start 15 years, 14, go all the way down to 1, then for every single year you have something coming out, and it saves you, like I mentioned earlier, from emergency end staking. You don't have to do that because you always have hex available. So that is a very good basic strategy. Yeah.
The most basic strategy you could have is a plan that best suits your needs and your goals. Absolutely. Yeah. And laddering is a really fun way of, sprinkling some incentive out there if that's something that you need to keep yourself looking forward to a perhaps passive stream of income that could perhaps be an income. Well, I was really having a hard time spitting that one out, but like a passive income stream opportunity.
It's definitely passive income. Oh yeah, because where else can you lock away, your hex for 15 years, or even if you want to just do a few years, like, it's passive and the best way. Like, I'd rather personally put my money into that than something at the bank that offers you minimum a joke amount of interest and rewards, right? So yeah, it's
sorry, I got a little sidetracked there for a second.
No worries.
I want to just make sure that we're covering everything. And for those, it's just about preparation. And it's about knowing where you're starting. And if you're new to the crypto ecosystem and you're finding Hex, there's no coincidences. This is a great place to start with coming into the basics. This is decentralized finance at its finest, dare I say. There are so many things, projects or products out there that you really need to take a deep dive into. And this is absolutely one of them. This may or may not be for you, and that's your decision. That's really what Serena and I are here to share with you guys, is just something that we're interested in. We could sit here and chat about speculating about where this is going all day, but it's at the end of the day, it's something that you need to grasp, and it's something that you need to take a look into and feel comfortable with it. And we are so glad, if you are new to the Hex ecosystem and you are new to finding Vibra Finance, that you are here with us today. If there's something in this episode that Serena and I covered today that you don't understand, or you're finding yourself having difficulties with, or you want to know in detail more about, please comment below. Contact us, reach out. Yeah. That's what we're here for. We're here to be a liaison for the community to those out there that are interested in a product like this. Because when I find a product that I'm interested in, we like to chat about it, right? We like to share it with our friends. And it's, for me, being able to share these ideas with my friends has been fun to watch them get into the rabbit hole of crypto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially a crypto like this. This is like unlike anything else that's existed before. So this is very exciting.
Yeah, in thinking about if emergency and staking has to happen with Hex, everything in life has penalties. So you're not being penalized just for a fine, like a product. You're being, all life has consequences, right? Mm-hmm. So we can expand so many ways on that one, which we will in future episodes.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for the very basics of Hex. And like I said, if there's something that we didn't cover, please comment below in the comment section, subscribe, follow us, hit the bell button for notifications for all. Each week we will be giving away, we're trying to get to 1,000 subs here. And when we do, we will be giving away a brand new Ledger X from the manufacturer. I'm a little excited about that. You'll have a supplemental tutorial video for your Ledger Nano X, so you know how to set it up safely, step by step. So share our channels, Vibra Live, get out there, share Serena Alonzi, follow us on Twitter, and we will be back next week with episode number 7, where we will be discussing delayed gratification and what that means to us in terms of Hex.
Yeah. And remember, sorry, I didn't mean to. I was just going to say, remember, guys, that this is not financial advice. This is just something that me and Lindsay love to talk about, and something that works for us, and we just want to share. So keep that in mind as well.
It's something that works for us, and we don't get paid
exactly
for it, and we don't get paid to talk about it. No. This is actually just something that we got up on Saturday morning and got a little excited to hang out with each other and chat about. So here we are on the green screen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So don't take financial advice. We're just here for entertainment. Episode number 6 in the books. We will see you soon. Thanks, everyone, for stopping in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button all. We will see you here next week. Get us up to 1,000 subs, and one of you is going to be so lucky to win this.
Mm-hmm. You need it. You guys need ledgers.
That's right. Cold storage will be getting that soon, too. Bye.